Yeah, ESPN's continuing its rankings of the top 10 at each position, and the Browns have yet to have someone crack the top 5. Or at least they were yet to have someone crack the top 5 at their respective position until Carson Schwesinger came in at number 3 on ESPN's off-ball linebacker rankings. Fred Warner and Roquan Smith, unanimous 1 and 2. After that, Carson Schwesinger, the 2025 Defensive Rookie of the Year, the future face of the Browns defense, coming in at number 3. You had Zach Bond in Philly coming in at number 4. Jack Campbell of the Lions at number 5. We'll run through 6 through 10 real quick. Azeez Al-Shahir of Houston at number 6. Jordan Brooks of the Dolphins at 7. Nick Bolton, Edgerrin Cooper, Devin Lloyd, 8, 9, and 10. This is how Schwesinger's voting broke down, by the way. It's a bunch of NFL coaches, personnel executives, front office executives. He had the highest vote, was number 2 on a ballot. He was off a ballot completely. That person said he had to do it 2 years in a row. He took the bull approach before he could put him in the top 10. And he was compared by multiple people in this survey to Hall of Famer Luke Kuechly. These are 2 quotes from executives on Carson Schwesinger. The first says, quote, there we go. He's Luke Kuechly reincarnated. Elite speed, athleticism, instincts, and ball skills. The second quote, he plays fast, excellent instincts, good in coverage, impressive for a rookie. That comes from an AFC evaluator. Jason, when you look at Carson Schwesinger, he's drawing comparisons to Luke Kuechly from some. Obviously won DPO Defensive Rookie of the Year last season. When it's all said and done, how good can Carson Schwesinger be? What is his ceiling?
I think it's impossible to say after 1 year, but I mean, listen, if he comes anything close to Luke Kuechly, what a home run pick that is. Kuechly only played 8 years, was a Pro Bowl in 7 of the 8, and was so dominant he got into the Hall of Fame, or he will be enshrined here in a few weeks, right?
Yeah.
He's in this class.
Yep.
So if they get anything close to that, I mean, just think about the list that he's on. To be 3rd on that list after 1 year, behind Fred Warner, who's the highest paid linebacker in the league, well, off-ball linebacker in the league, and Roquan Smith. I mean, those are franchise pillars, both of those guys. And to go from a 2nd-round pick to 3rd on that list it's a testament to the type player he is. But I mean, you ask me to put a ceiling, I think the sky's the limit for him. I remember we were talking about this in training camp last year, and I said, guys, you guys are going to love Carson Schwesinger. Like, that dude plays with his hair on fire every freaking snap. And they listen, there's no doubt to me they got a winner in this guy.
Yeah, his ceiling is a lot higher than most linebackers would have, because he's a true rare 3-down linebacker. He's a guy, most linebackers are in between 1st and 2nd down linebacker, where they're in on rundowns or the base package, and then you might got a guy who comes in who's more of a will linebacker, who's dropping in coverage when the nickel package is coming in. But he's a guy that has the size and physicality to be able to take on blockers. He has the speed to run around blockers and avoid blockers. He has the instincts to understand and diagnose plays. His drops are good hands. He's had interceptions and passes deflected, and he's sideline to sideline. So for me, you look at him, he's one of those dudes where that's why linebackers don't technically go that high, because they're not 3-down guys. He's a true 3-down guy who you don't lose anything. You don't lose anything in the pass game. You don't lose anything in the run game. Good at his run fit. So he's one of them dudes where, if he can stay healthy, I always knock on wood, because, JOK was a monster. I thought JOK was getting to the highest level, and unfortunately the injuries happened. But for Carson Schwesinger, hey, if he anywhere near Luke Kuechly, Browns will be all right defensively.
I was so impressed with it with this kid as a rookie last year. The fact that he is able to come in, learn this defense, play so well in a complex scheme with Jim Schwartz was impressive. The way he was able to fight through the injuries. I mean, the guy's out there with like half a hamstring, and he's still running to the ball, making plays. Getting to the football is half the battle, and then he gets there with a bad attitude. I love this guy. I love his athletic ability. It's not like he's, sometimes guys play this position and they're just like overachievers. he's very athletic.
Yeah.
You know, he's fast. He's got great hips. Like, he just does everything that you want a linebacker to be. And God, man, like, he's a guy that I think Browns fans are going to have for like a decade and buy his jersey and count on him every single Sunday, like Joe Thomas, to show up and show out, because that's what this guy is all about. You know, I love his story too. Like, he was not even a starter until like a senior year, and he's had to earn it every step of the way. Becomes a pretty high draft pick, and then turns into a baller as a rookie.
And he's not a physical specimen. You know,
Doesn't have to be though. I mean,
yeah.
he's an athlete, but he is probably a little undersized for the position that he plays. But you wouldn't know it by the way he plays.
Right.
Who's the linebacker? I'm thinking about a couple of years ago. You probably covered one of the Browns. Inside linebacker, ended up going to the Jaguars in free agency. Came out of Wisconsin, played middle linebacker.
Oh God.
We
drafted him.
Who was it? This got to be like 2014, 20. He made a Pro Bowl too.
I know who you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Made a Pro Bowl.
I think he played in Green Bay.
He played for the Jaguars. They kind of let him walk, but this had to be around 2014, 15, 16, somewhere in there. His name is right on the tip of my tongue, and I can't quite get it. Mingonuggets will find it. But regardless,
Jabal Shed?
No.
Joe Schobert.
Schobert.
Yes,
Yeah, good
yes.
pull. Good pull. Number 53.
Yeah, Joe Schobert. He's not that, because I think he's a much better athlete than Joe Schobert. But Joe Schobert was one of those guys who kind of was, didn't look unassuming, didn't look the part. The thing I like about Schwesinger is, like you said, he's a late bloomer. And some of the things with them late bloomers, you got to think, and Tyvis said this when he was on, he said sometimes it clicks for people late. And it clicked for him like when it was almost too late. Like, I mean, dude, he didn't start like his senior year.
Right.
He was a walk-on. So think about that. Like, he plays with a walk-on mentality. He was just a couple of weeks ago in his mind, like, yeah, I was almost out of here. I wasn't even a guy that was even mentioned. When they drafted him, I said, who is this? Like, because I'm looking at, I don't remember UCLA or any of those teams making noise. But when you're a late bloomer, think about it like this. Now he's immersed. He's hitting more reps. He's picking up things. So I think his trajectory, he can get better, Dustin.
No doubt. I'm curious to see how this defense, gets him involved and how they use him this year, because we don't really know what's this guy's name?
Mike Rutenberg.
Rutenberg.
Yeah.
Rutenberg.
Coach Rudy.
Rutenberg. I don't know exactly how to say it, but we don't exactly know how his defense is going to, implement a guy like Carson Schwesinger. So it'll be fascinating to see early in the season how this defense looks as opposed to last year.
Yeah, Jason, it's the stimulus package. It's like, it's crazy because it's a little exciting and scary, because for the first time, we're going to actually get to see what everybody looks like without Myles Garrett. Like, okay, Alex, right? Yeah, that was cool. Can you get off a block by yourself? Mason Graham. they was looking at Myles Garrett. Can you hold the point of attack? Hey, Carson Schwesinger. Can you still make those plays? So, I'm looking at it in a way. It's scary. It's exciting because you might see some new stuff, but we're going to see what it looks like when you got to do it without Myles Garrett.
I got a question for you guys. So Luke Kuechly was a guy mentioned by two different evaluators in their responses about Carson Schwesinger. I put in the YouTube chat, do you think Schwesinger could end up being as good as Luke Kuechly? 88% said yes, they do. Kuechly's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Like, that's unfair to put on a guy.
Are we getting too far ahead of ourselves after one really, 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 and I want to emphasize this enough, really good rookie season from Schwesinger, but
so
to put Hall of Fame target trajectory, are we getting a little too far ahead of ourselves?
I'll answer it for you guys. I would say, sure, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. This guy played one season in the NFL. We're comparing to a guy who's going to be a gold jacket guy in a month. However, if he provides that production for the next 8-10 years, then yeah, I think we could be talking about a guy who could be like Luke Kuechly going to the Hall of Fame. Now, Luke Kuechly, remember, only played, I believe, 8 seasons because he retired early with the concussions. So his numbers, he stacked up, early on, and went to a Super Bowl. That was a great season for him. and for the Panthers, but didn't get the win. But either way, like this guy sort of changed football. He was the way he played, his instincts, how smart he was. I think there's a lot of similarities between these two players, not just the color of their skin and the position that they play.
I'll give you another example. I think, yeah, you could do that because you can look at a guy like Patrick Willis for the 49ers. Patrick Willis, I believe, only played, 8 years? Retired. Linebacker is a very physical position, and I'm starting to see that the way they look at the linebacker body of work, they're looking at it a little different because they understand that it's so tough and difficult on your body. You might not play 10, 12, 13 years, right? Because you're doing a bunch of crashing into people and doing things like that. But the way this game works is once you start off, my teacher always told me it's always easier to start off with an A average and then slip down to a B. But if you start off at a C or a C minus, you know what you got to do to bring that C average up to an A. You got to be it's playing catch up. He's already started right where he needed to be. My first year, I was defensive rookie of the year. Now he has the cachet. Now all he got to do is pull up and still keep the numbers consistent. He'll be on the field three downs. He'll have an opportunity to be. He's the first dude they mentioned on the little small crawl. He's the first person that y'all want to interview him for the games on Monday night. We met with Luke Kuechly Jr. We met with him, and look at what he's. And then all you need, you look up in about 5-6 years, he got a resume. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
And we'll take it because we don't got very many people with resumes.